Hello, good afternoon. My name is Kaustubh and today I'm with my friend Devansh. We are presenting our final project on hardware security, which is a automated hardware Trojan insertion tool. And we have implemented this project using a Perl script and RTL AES 128 benchmark from Trust Hub. And we'll be presenting our project as a simulation in the Model Sim tool platform. So initially, I'll be showing you a, a case where my Trojan would be completely dormant for a exhaustive number of random uh, inputs and an exhaustive number of large cycles. So just a second, sorry. So as you can see that I'm running this simulation for a large amount of cycles. It's constantly running and it's generating completely random uh, states and completely random states with a common key, and which is generating different encrypted outputs that are exactly the same in both this out and the final out of the circuit. But as you can see that the TJ trig, which is the signal that the Trojan has been triggered, is dormant. So this is the simulation to show you that our Trojan, which has been inserted in the design, is a hard to detect Trojan, because even for a large number of cycles, I'll keep running it for some time, but even for a large number of cycles and a large amount of simulation, the Trojan is dormant. So you don't see it getting activated. So for an external, like this is a good scenario for an attacker, because for someone who's trying to detect a Trojan, they will never be able to detect it from just an exhaustive test bench. They have to use specialized techniques to actually find this Trojan. So from a normal user end, or for a normal from a normal operating point of view, this Trojan will never be activated, and this AES encryption would just work as per usual. So this is what the design aims to show, that even for a large amount of cycles, the Trojan is dormant. So here the clock is of 10 nanoseconds. So you can see, based on, I've run it for about 6.5 million cycles, and it's still, the Trojan is still dormant. So this simulation can conclusively show that this is a hard to detect Trojan. Our next simulation would be where scenario where the two of our payloads that we have implemented get triggered. So in the first case, we'll be showing the payload, which is actually a payload that gives a user-defined values to the output pins. In this case, what this payload does is it actually modifies the output. The other payload that we have is the one that will be leaking the key. That will be the third simulation. So in this simulation, we'll be showing you that a certain user-defined values will be transmitted to the output pin once the Trojan is activated. So I'll show you this. We have changed the where's the okay. So this simulation, I'll end it and I'll open a new one. Trojan payload code and anything else.
Trigger also. Trigger.
Okay.
Simulations.
This. So Devansh will explain this to you. I'll just point it to the spot where the Trojan actually gets triggered. Devansh.
Yeah. So mute.
Oh, yeah.
So here you can see the TJ trig has been activated when on a certain value of state. This state value can be seen in the TJ trigger. If you can show the code for TJ Trojan trigger. So this is the code for Trojan trigger. Here you can see for this value of state, which is 00112254334455. This value, we can see that in the waveform as well. For this value in the waveform, this Trojan is being triggered, and the final output value, which comes after some cycles, you can go there. So here the value, as you can see, the value of the final out is different from the output value. In the previous scenario, all the output values were corresponding to the final out, but here, since the Trojan has been triggered, we have changed the last 4 bits. So instead of an E, we are getting a 6. So if you can open the Trojan payload code. Here you can see like we have given values of 0, 1, 1 to bit 1, 2, and 3. So this corresponds. So if you look at the last 4 bits of the output final, there would be 0, 1, 1, 0, which corresponds to a 6 instead of an E. So this just goes to show that if the Trojan is being triggered, this value is coming out as the final output of the device. So this is one of the Trojan that we have inserted. Now you can open the second Trojan.
So, Sorry. Okay. Here I'll be adding the other payload circuit and stop its corresponding top module.
One thing to add here is that these Trojan payload and Trojan trigger are all generated by a Perl script that we have made. So we have included all of that in the glossary. So I'll be giving specific commands on how to generate this test Trojan and Trojan payload and different Trojan triggers. Also, the top and the top new files which are generated are also made by the script.
So I'll be running the simulation now to show what's going on. In the second payload that we have implemented, this time this payload intends to leak certain bits from the key to the output. So it's basically a way for the attacker to get a picture of what exactly the key bits are. And if the attacker has some idea of, let's say, a certain number of key bits, then the rest of the key bits can be evaluated using traditional brute force approaches. So this type of Trojan detection or information leakage technique is very harmful for a designer. It can easily break the AES encryption or any other encryption methods used. So uh, okay. Be running it. Where's the okay? Let me reload it. Yeah. For some reason, I can't see the. For some reason, I can't see the output simulation command, so I'll be running it from here. Okay, that should work. Yeah. So if we come back here, so here we can see the Trojan has been triggered for this specific input scenario, the input signals that we are trying to give. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My bad. So this is the key value. And this is the state. So for this state combination, which is once again as proven in the first simulation, it's a very rare combination because for an exhaustive number of cycles, the Trojan was not triggered. So this time for the specific state combo, the Trojan is triggered, which means that the output. So you can see here that the output is supposed to be 2e, which was the same as the output that was in the previous simulation and the simulation before that. Sorry, the previous simulation, because that we had the same state and same key. So this is the encrypted output that we'll get traditionally from the AES, but since the Trojan has been triggered, what it's going to do, it's going to modify this according to the code, which I'll show you, and Devansh can explain it better. So I'll open the both Trojan trigger and Trojan payload, although the Trojan trigger is the same. You can see that, so that's the same. And,
So in Trojan payload, while running the script, we gave key 1, key 2, key 3, and key 4. So this payload will only leak the last 4 bits of the key value. So if we can open the simulation. So here you can see that the last 4 bits of the final output corresponds to the key value instead of the output, which it should normally when the Trojan is not triggered. So basically this goes to show that this state is Trojan trigger, and the key values are being leaked into the output according to the corresponding bits that we mentioned while running the script. So these are the 2 Trojan payloads that we have inserted.
This is our this is a simulation in its basic crux that we have implemented 2 Trojans and that trigger 2 payloads for a similar for a same input combo, but the 2 payloads are being triggered, and these payloads demonstrate 2 different techniques of attacking a hardware chip. And we have also shown in our first simulation how this Trojan is a hard to detect Trojan because it did not get activated for about 4 million cycles. We also documented all this in our report that we'll be submitting. And as Devansh mentioned, the glossary section will have all the codes and all this and the script that's been used to automate this. And a README will also be submitted as per the requirement to explain how to run it. And all of this can be reproduced by the evaluators themselves. So I think that's all that we want to show. Thank you and good evening.